Hey, what's everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to start on the remastered Lightning Collection Yellow Ranger. I just recently did Blue Ranger, so these will probably drop at the same time. So yeah, let's get started. We have a huge improvement on our female bodies over the last few years. There's been a lot of nice stuff. I gotta say, between the Ranger color swap Trini and the Dino Charge Green, I'm really enjoying what we're getting so far. So remastered is the culmination of all of those things. In case you haven't noticed, we have a new color injection. We have better head articulation. We have glove swivel, double bicep, pinless. Everything is here on it. So outside of paint issues, it's really a great start to what we're getting with the female figures. I'm super excited to see how they can go further from here. So let's get started. One of these things being, I know I mentioned that glove swivel, which is very important. It was on our Ranger Shrop 20. Wow. It was on our Ranger Shrop Trini. Sorry, I am sick and the sirens is killing me right now. Normally I can ignore it, but it's rough right now. But yes, so articulation wise, we have an excellent look as we can tilt side to side, right? We can look down just a little bit. We can go upward. We have that new ball joint that allows for a little bit more movement. And just like I said on Blue Ranger, I'm actually going to Dremel because that second ring is a little too tight and I would like a bit more range and articulation. As far as our arms, we can hit pretty much a close to a Y, but I'm going to keep it safe and go with the T joint, as you can see here. As far as our upper torso goes, this is the only drawback that I do not enjoy so far with our female rangers. I feel like we just do not get the same range as male figures with our torso movement. So yes, we can go backwards and forwards just a little bit better, but we're still not getting the same range as those male figures, at least not in the Mighty Morphin body, because I do not have this issue with Dino Charge Green, and I'm hoping to show those photos off soon too. As you can see here, the double joints, the glove swivel, it's all very, very nice. We have those drop down hips as well, which allow for a lot more articulation, as you can see here, right? We have a double joint here in the legs, which allows for that. We have a boot swivel. We have beautiful ankle pivot as usual, which is comes with most Hasbro figures in general. But again, I'm a little disappointed in that midsection issue, strictly because you have the tech to do better, and I'm just a little. I guess it is a trying to figure out how to break the sculpt without wrecking it. But that's the only gripe that I majorly have with the female bodies at this point because you've come so far, right? We have a beautiful butterfly joint as well. Now, with that being said, I've showed this off in its movement, right? But one thing I do want to do is show it off next to the original Yellow Ranger, which I gotta say, this is, like I said, it's a vast improvement. Just wish the midsection area was just so much better, right? So let's get you in a position so we can show you off next to your first release versus our remaster. So here we are with our remaster to my right, the original to our left, and as you can see, there are major differences, not just in color but in height. The belt sizing proportions are just proportions overall, right? Those really skinny single jointed arms, which were abysmal, but especially when you see it compared to, especially our helmets. Look at our helmet difference, way better proportioned to fit a human head in there. It's just really crazy how, looking back, you just see the difference and you can't see it when it's in front of you. So we have that, right? Next up, we're going to go over some accessories because we've gone over articulation too. So let's get to it. So here's where we get into accessories. We get a little fun. So just like with Blue Ranger, I believe these, and I'm gonna call them the comic exclusive stuff because you normally wouldn't get stuff like this in the live action show, morphin sequence wise. I'm supposedly it's probably going to go to your morphin sequence, but it just reminds me of Dan Mora art, so that's what I'm calling it. Obviously, I could be wrong, but this is what works for me, and I'm using it. So next up, we have our Blade Blaster in 3 different modes. We have our storage mode for our Blade Blaster, right? That's actually going to fit right in our side holster. We have Blade Blaster in blaster mode. And then we have it in sword mode, or close range, close quarters combat mode, right? We actually have gripping hands So that way you can hold Trini's signature weapon, power daggers, right? And then we have an open martial arts hand for our right hand for Trini. And my focus is crazy. So we have that open right martial arts hand. We have one closed fist for the left. And then we have two morphing hands. And I realized with Blue Ranger I may have done this upside down, but I'm going to keep it this way because I already had it done this way. So here we are with our morphing hands, right? And it should be turned around the other way. But I do enjoy the fact that we do actually get the actual logos on them. Like, I really like that. You can make out the saber-toothed tiger on there. And it's actually painted in yellow, which is really dope. We actually have both hands for it, which is pretty cool. I'm glad that we actually got that. I'm actually going to rotate it around so you can see how it is supposed to be. So it actually rotates in. So you have it. More phenomenal and all that. And then last but not least, we have our new Trini sculpt, which I actually like a lot. I think my only gripe with it is that the hair is super duper glossy. I would have preferred a matte sculpt because I actually really like this sculpt for Trini a lot. This one here, and as you can see with the matte sculpt, it makes it work out a lot better. Whereas this one, I'm not sure why they chose to gloss it. And it's soft hair, so you can wiggle it around with little to no problem. Now we're going to jump into our size comparisons. So with that being said, I will see you guys. And so now we're on to size comparisons. So before we saw the Trini from the original yellow that was first released, let's put it back out. Then we'll have Red Ranger Trini from the color swap. And it's funny because outside of some of the newer body parts, like this is very similar to our remaster. Just in case you don't know, this is actually very, very similar to our remaster. Uses a lot of the parts we have now. But then we have like the Dino Charge Green. And it's crazy because with Dino Charge Green, we have this excellent upper torso that I was talking about. I really wish we would have gotten this upper torso on our yellow. It would have been utterly perfect figure otherwise. Right? So here we are with some female Rangers. 3 of them being the same. Right? Then if you want to compare to some male Rangers, here we are with the remastered blue. Here we are with the regular red and Goldar. I'm going to try to zoom out just a bit. So here we are with Goldar. Right? And here we are with regular red. So we have a glance at what we're getting. Right? Trini being the smallest, obviously. Right? And just in case you want to compare something larger, here is King Sphinx from Lightning Collection as well. Then we have the Putty. Right? Gonna leave these guys up. Next up, you have G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. And I should have brought some female G.I. Joe figures, but it totally slipped my mind at this time, so I will try to slip it into the photos. Here we are with the SHF Queen Bee Aguilera from Kamen Rider Revice. I chose a female Kamen Rider to compare to. I figured it was easier to do. And if you want a male one, here is SHF Kamen Rider Kuga. And then we have a Revice also from the same series. So you can see. Next up, excuse me. It's really tough to breathe right now. Next up here is Mezco Me, as well as a Valaverse rollout. And you know what? I had Pandora from Valaverse out, and I put her on my other desk, so I will slip that in to the photos as well. Next up, we have Mythic Legions. So you can see just how much smaller she is, right? And that about sums it up so far. And we're going to slip some other stuff in the photos. I'm actually really tired. But yes, this has been very enjoyable. Like I said, I would have loved this even more if she had that better upper torso, like the Dino Charge Green. Not Dino Charge, Dino Fury Green. I kept saying Dino Charge, my apologies. Dino Fury Green, or Ryu Soul Green. But yes, these are pretty fun. I'm going to see if I can mod that torso to match that of the Ryu Soul Green / Dino Fury Green. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. But the blue so far, it's like A1. Yellow, it's like an A2 solid. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, especially in this sick state that I'm in. I'm doing my best to try to get stuff done, but it's going to be a little slow as I get back on the way to recovery. I appreciate you all watching despite everything else. So as always, please be good, do good, Drink your water, guys. Later. So I just want to add this in. After I did the video, I'm working on photos now. And as you can see, I sound better because this is now like 2 or 3 days later. Yes, so there is a nice ab crunch, but to do so, you actually have to pull the torso up because it's so, as you can see that drop down? You can actually pull the torso up, which I did not know, right? And you actually get excellent articulation. So, with that being said, look at it now. Look at it. You now can have much more range on your Yellow Ranger. So I just want to make sure that this is added in. It will be at the end of the video to kind of prove a point that I was tripping, I was wrong, and I discovered something new, which thankfully I found out here. So as always, enjoy.